In 1626, for $24 worth of trinkets, Indians sold the land on which stands the world's most famous skyline. Manhattan births the ocean giants. Here also are birthed smaller vessels, which offer the visitor an excellent way to see New York. A boat trip around the island. The first leg of this pleasurable voyage is south from Midtown, down the Hudson River, then out into the harbor for a sight that is certainly one of the outstanding attractions of this fabulous city, the Statue of Liberty. Another way to obtain an outstanding and exciting view of Big Town. Well, there's nothing that can quite compare with a helicopter ride. Here is the thrill of a bird's eye view, down into deep canyons of steel and concrete. A beehive of activity of thousands of unseen workers. At the far end of Wall Street is historic Trinity Church and Graveyard, squeezed in among some of the world's greatest banking and brokerage houses. Wall Street is a working symbol, representing American prestige and wealth in the cross-currents of domestic and international finance. Here is where George Washington took office as President of the United States. We are on our way up the East River. Just ahead is a landmark you've certainly heard about, the Brooklyn Bridge, joining Manhattan with the borough of Brooklyn across the river. The world is landlord of the imposing United Nations building, a landmark of international fame and importance, and one of New York's greatest tourist attractions. Park Avenue uptown is noted for its fashionable apartments. Today, Midtown Park Avenue shows the results of being transformed into an important center of modern day-to-day business and commerce, with great new office buildings, the sign of the times. Almost every direction you look in Midtown Manhattan, there is another new building. A new skyscraper that didn't seem to be there only yesterday. There's one thing for certain about New York. There's only one direction to go, and that's up. Another of New York's equally famous thoroughfares is Fifth Avenue. For most of us, Fifth Avenue is synonymous with fashionable shops, signatures of elegance and luxury. Window shopping along this avenue of fashion costs nothing and can be a lot of fun. So join the parade of New Yorkers and visitors along this world-famous street. Occupying an entire city block on Fifth Avenue stands St. Patrick's Cathedral. Across the street is Rockefeller Center, a huge complex dominated by the RCA building. From the top, you are now looking south, a full view of Lower Manhattan. Standing out in all the elegance of the great structure that it is the Empire State Building, memorable, unforgettable symbol of this great city on the island of Manhattan. This is City Hall, administrative headquarters of this massive metropolis. A few blocks away is Washington Arch. This is in the more bohemian quarter of Manhattan, better known as Greenwich Village. The people you see here are usually writers, artists, folk singers, or just plain people like you and me. Art is one of the major industries of the village. Have your portrait sketched. Or make your personal selection from the sidewalk galleries. Back to the top of the RCA building, this time for a view looking north to Central Park, an island of natural beauty surrounded by a sea of man-made steel and concrete. Near the park entrances, you'll find memories of the gay 90s. Horse-drawn rigs and silk-hatted drivers for hire for a jaunt through Central Park. It's hard to believe you're in Midtown Manhattan, but you are. If you prefer a lovely lake, here it is, and rowboats too. For children of all ages, there's the Central Park Zoo. This is a real attraction for those who appreciate wildlife, almost like a circus. In fact, this menagerie is better than a circus because it's here all the time. Variety never ends. If you enjoy museums, Manhattan has them. Or perhaps you're more inclined toward drama or music. Then you'll want to visit the new Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts. This is summertime, and that means big league baseball. Shea Stadium is the last word in modern amphitheaters for those who are fans of this great American pastime. If you think New York is an exciting place by day, wait until you see it by night. Travel above ground or by subway. Mingle with the New Yorkers and other visitors, and you'll find yourself swept along on an endless tide of humanity, moving along at an exciting tempo. People, people, people. A concentration of hundreds of thousands, always on the go. A modern concerto, ever the same, ever changing. Moving, exciting, always something new, pleasurable, memorable. Times Square at night. Anyone who visits New York has to be constantly amazed by what he sees here. An excitement unmatched by any other city. This is a jungle of neon lights as Broadway becomes the Great White Way, heart of Manhattan's nightlife, the entertainment capital of the world. So come share the wonders of Manhattan, the great city of America, great city of the world, the great metropolis that is New York.